If your goal is to develop a world-class serve, there's one thing that you need to really focus on, and that's learning to control the first bounce on your side of the table. If you can control the first bounce, that's the foundation for being able to develop a world-class serve. Some students will come for lessons and they'll say, teach me an amazing serve. I say, okay, let's start with what serves you have. Go ahead and serve one for me. And they'll serve directly into the net. And I'll say, okay, did that serve hit the net on the way up or did it hit the net on the way down? And they'll look at me like, what are you talking about? I say, well, if you didn't learn to control the first bounce on your side, it's going to be tough to develop a world-class serve. So that's the first thing we're going to be working on for the first 2 months, is learning to control the first bounce. Let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, my short heavy backspin serve, first bounce should hit here. Well, guess what? If it hits too far back for the short heavy backspin, it hits, it rises, and then it falls. So if it does like that, then it goes into the net. It's hitting the net on the way down. If my short heavy backspin should hit here, and I float the ball too far up and it hits here, it's going to catch the net on the way up. On the way up. Okay? So how does that apply to Power Pong robot training? Well, a lot of people want to develop serve return practice, serve return drills with the robot, and they ask the question, what are the exact settings? Or why does my serve hit the net? Or why is my serve going out? So today I want to teach you the principles of how to adjust the robot for serves. So I've set one up here. This is an incorrect setting, and I want you to see how it misses, and then I want you to see how we make the adjustment. So we've got a short backspin serve. We've got trajectory 23, speed 8, spin -1. Check this out. So the first bounce hits here, and then the second bounce hits here. So we want the ball to go a little bit further up. So we could adjust the trajectory up a little bit higher so that that ball shoots further, or we could adjust the speed so that the ball comes further out. Either one would work. So let's adjust the speed. We're going to adjust it to speed 10 and then do it like that. Okay. It's really, really important that when you're doing your own serve, that you contact the ball from a low position. If you contact the ball from up here, for sure your serve is going to be too bouncy. Same for serve return drills with the robot. You want it set at the first or second ring. If you can see 3 gray rings, that serve is coming from too high of a position, so the serve is going to come over a little bit awkward. Most of the drills I recommend the second gray ring, but for serves, you can even do the first gray ring to get that serve lower. Now let's program a serve. Let's do a deep side spin serve. So we're going to put it at speed 13. We're going to have it serve right down the middle of the table. Speed 13, we're going to put trajectory 23, spin 0, side spin +2. Okay. So we're going to sample it and see what we got. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, what if we had the same trajectory and we had speed 15? Would that work? Let's check it out. Okay, see how it's bouncy and it goes bouncing out? So maybe that's a little bit too fast. Let's try speed 14. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, if we wanted to do a side spin serve curving this way and then a side spin serve curving that way, how would we do it? Well, we could just clone that particular ball and we could put ball 2 for -2 on the side spin. And then what are we going to get? We're going to get a side spin serve curving this way and then a side spin serve curving that way. Okay, here we go. We're going to do it pretty slow, 35 balls a minute. And you can see side spin serve curving that way, side spin serve curving that way, side spin serve curving that way, side spin serve curving that way. Now, what if for your particular robot, because your balls, your table, your humidity, your altitude, it might be different. So what if yours was missing? What would you do differently? Well, instead of the trajectory being 23 where the first bounce goes here, you could put the trajectory for 0 so that the ball bounces further down if it's clipping the net. What happens if the serve is a little bit too bouncy? Yours is bouncing too high. Well, then you would put the trajectory up a little bit. So instead of the ball shooting down so much, it would shoot forward a little bit more. So this is one of my favorite ones right here. Let me just show you the parameters for this one. So we've got trajectory 23, speed 14, spin 0, side spin is 2. And then for the second ball, we have the same thing, but side spin -2. Now, if we don't turn on random shuffle placement, scatter, or anything, we just ran it like that, it would do one serve curving this way and one serve curving that way. If we hit random, then what would we have? We'd have either this way or this way. What if we hit scatter? Then we would have a range, that the ball wouldn't be going specifically just here or just here. It would kind of be in this range or in this range. So I personally feel like from my practice, one of the things that I enjoy most is creating drills like this for serves. And if you really want to understand how it works, you need to understand your own serve. Let me just give a quick recap before we continue. If my serve is hitting down too much from a high position, like down too much, for sure it's going to be bouncy, right? So I want the trajectory to be a little bit more forward. If my serve, I'm serving a short serve and it's hitting too far up here, it's hitting too far up there, it's going to clip the net. So what do I need? I need to be able to adjust the ball back a little bit. If I'm serving and my serve is hitting too far back here and then going into the net, then I need to move the ball that way. So when you're programming your own serves, there's a couple main things, but the main things that I really want you to be able to focus on is adjusting the trajectory and adjusting the speed. And as I mentioned earlier, make sure that when you're doing serves that you also have it for the first or second grade ring. I'm Samson Dabina. Thanks for watching. If you'd like more free articles and videos, make sure you check out our website, powerpongrobots.com. I'll see you soon.